Hi, so here's the dildo. So today I want to make a quick video to talk to you about bat levers, battery assist devices from Magpul and other companies that have made it. Whoa, wardrobe change. Yeah, this is a pretty high quality production here at ANR, and we pride ourselves in offering you different wardrobes. Actually, in fact, I'm lying. The reason why I'm wearing this is because I have to sort of do this video again because on my first take, I was cussing a little bit too much. And oh my God, he is now wearing a lab coat. You're damn right I am. And that is because I am a scientist. If you don't believe me, look at my degree. It's legit. Just don't look into it. I'm wearing a lab coat. I'm a guy on the internet. You can trust me. So here's my degree. As you can see, it is very legit. It's printed on paper and it's signed by the people.
No, that shit looks fake as fuck.
No, it's not.
Oh, really? Then what is the dean's name?
His name is Dean Dienerson.
That sounds a lot like his position at the university.
Well, maybe that's the reason he became one.
Also, that's signed by Grantham.
All right, listen. A little bit of TV magic there with a little change of wardrobe for your viewing pleasure. Now, I brought with me a short amount of notes so that way we can talk about this, you know, father to son. Reasons why people don't like the bat lever. Now, mind you, I have heard some that are
sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Some people say that it crowds the trigger area a little bit too much. It's like, no, okay, whatever. I mean, sure, if you have gorilla fingers, I mean, I guess, sure. Or wearing like winter gloves or something, whatever. In that they're wobbly sometimes. Yeah, sure, I guess. I'll give you that one. You probably should get a fully ambi lower from like American Defense or Irradian or you name it. There's a bunch of them out there. That's probably the better option, to just go with a fully ambi lower. Now we're gonna get to the bad ones. Get it? Bad ones? They induce negligent discharges. How do you say it in French? No. No. You induce negligent discharges. In order to operate a bat lever, you must strain with it. That means you can't just put it on your gun and then just expect to run it because you think you know how it works. But actually, most people that hate it, in fact, don't understand the purpose behind them. Don't even know what the it's supposed to do. But this is why I'm here. Your weapon should at all times go to safe during a stoppage, if possible. There's some malfunctions that don't allow you to put your weapon back in safety, but if you can, you should. That way, no negligent discharges happen. But if you're running into a malfunction, then the weapon is probably not firing for some reason, so you know, it's just maybe failure to extract, double feed. We'll get into double feeds, but you know, think a little bit. You should be able to differentiate between squeezing your trigger and then pushing your finger up. Big difference between the two. So if you are trying to actually engage your bat lever to lock your bolt to the rear and you fire off a round, first of all, your weapon probably should have been on safe because for some reason you had a round in the chamber. So if you were gonna do like a mag change or something, probably should put your gun on safe. But that's a debate that we can have another day. Now, this next one literally gave me hemorrhoids. And it goes like this. I have to read this one because it's just extensive. When I do check drills, my rifle slaps against my belt, body, and or when dropped down and sends the bolt forward as I switch to my pistol. So we have the shooter shooting, they reach bolt lock, and first of all, that's a training issue. That's a training fallacy because you should never be running your weapon in a really bad situation where you have to shoot 30 rounds without doing a tactical magazine change. That's pretty
Flat range, practice.
So that in itself makes the drill kind of stupid, but I get it because it's a low round count drill, right? So the complaint that I heard from a prominent figure on the Instagrams was that as he brings the weapon down, his belt or something hits the bat lever and it lets the bolt forward as he draws his secondary, right? And then he says, it's kind of a pain in the ass because then when I do my check drill, oh, the bolt is forward. So this is when logic kicks in and I'm like, why the do you give a shit about what happens to your primary weapon if you're just dealing with your target? You're dealing with a target with your secondary. There's a reason why you hold this thing out. This thing can turn into a giant flopping dildo.
Disgusting!
and I would not give a shit. My thread is what matters. And then after that, you can bring up the dildo back and be like, oh, okay, and then you do your check drill, whatever it is that you need to do. First of all, if you're training to go to a bolt lock magazine change, that's like scary wrong, because you're either A, in a really bad situation where you had to shoot the entirety of your magazine to something and you went to bolt lock, or you're just not training properly for a realistic situation, which, you know, you should never base your combat or fighting readiness on flat range drills. Mostly because if you're running a primary and secondary setup, if something happens to your primary weapon that it goes down and you have to transition to your secondary, why the would you give a shit what happens to your primary weapon after that? Because your focus should be, holy shit, I need to draw my secondary weapon and engage this target because obviously something happened to my primary weapon. You're trying to deal with the threat. And then after you're done dealing with your threat, then that's when you bring your primary up. And then guess what? It doesn't matter if your bolt was forward, if you had a double feed, or if your magazine turned into a Walmart gift card. It doesn't matter what happened to it because that's the time for you to fix what happened. So like I said, flat range drills should never dictate your setup, your combat readiness, ever. That one literally gave me hemorrhoids and chlamydia. So now, since we're talking about the bad lever, so tap, rack, bang. Okay, your weapon goes click. You go tap, rack, bang, and it doesn't go bang. So one of the things that I think about the most is the fact that we train people to inherently go to these muscle memory level procedures to deal with a malfunction without necessarily think or assess what's going on with the weapon before they go and attempt whatever it is, the procedure to fix that malfunction or stoppage.
Stop it!
Now, why would you want to tap, rack, bang if you can take a quick split second, cant your gun to the side a little bit and take a peek at your bolt? Now, mind you, I'm not saying that you should go all out Israeli-like and just start doing the bolt check every 3 seconds after you shoot. What I'm saying is, if your gun goes click, it really doesn't feel you to just twist it, look at the bolt, and see what the is happening. Why? Because if you look at your bolt and you see that you have a double feed, a tap, rack, bang is not gonna fix a double feed, okay? Now, if you're familiar with immediate action, remedial action, like in the military, in the Army we have this acronym, like we do for almost everything, called SPORTS. Slap, pull, observe, release, tap, squeeze. You're basically trying to get a mortgage and check your credit score and do your taxes. But here's the funny thing, right? A lot of people are taught to tap, rack, bang. Sports, right? It's supposed to be muscle memory. It's like your weapon goes click and you don't think about what's going on. You go like this and you try to fix it, right? What happens when you have a double feed? You did a tap, rack, bang. Did you remove the source of feed? No. That slap, pull, observe, release, tap, squeeze never got rid of the source of feed that's actually trapping the 2 rounds that are trying to go into the chamber. So you probably made it worse. Maybe a triple feed. But yeah, you're actually making your situation considerably worse, as Alex would say, by orders of magnitude. Because you're not thinking, right? And I have to quote Travis Haley again, the whole being thinkers before shooters. Doing this sucks because the Israelis abuse the out of it. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but Israelis, they do this shit. Bang, bang. Like literally, I'm shit you not, dude. They do that all the time. They do it with a pistol too. They go like this. So much. But in the real context, like real scenario, it really, like if you go click and you see 2 little tips trying to go inside a hole, like one of them adult films that like people watch, but not me. Adult film entertainment kind of stuff. It really doesn't kill you to just like stop. Oh, it's a double feed. Now, the way to clear a double feed without a bad lever involves you having to take your firing hand out of your pistol grip to go here, here, and there. Because you have to lock the bolt to the rear from here. So that's how you lock the bolt to the rear. So I broke side picture. I'm uncomfortable trying to seek cover. That's actually what happened to me in that simunition drill. I was trying to find cover as I'm switching, fumble the shit, and I ended up getting peppered by this super handsome Australian guy in the back with UTM rounds. That sucked. That's the way that you have to do it if you don't have a bad lever. Weapon goes click, lock it to the rear, lock it to the rear, insert, that's it, insert. I mean, sure, if it's a nasty double feed, you may have to, like, maybe get a Gerber, like if you have, I think it's called bolt override or whatever, where like the casing is like stuck between the gas tube and whatever. Yeah, that would suck.
Nope, it's shitty.
But it's considerably faster than having to, like, if you notice, like, the gun goes, click, I can just go, oh, double feed. Take a knee if you want to, bring it back, release, you're back up fired. That is why I get aggravated about people that hate on the bad lever, because they don't understand. And that actually happened to me. So my argument is people, they should form strong opinions based on experience and critical thinking rather than or regurgitation. Just like Tony said to me, he's like, I don't run it, but not for those reasons. I don't run it because that's another thing that could potentially break. And I respect that opinion because I'm pretty sure at some point he tested it. Maybe at some point he may have had one on one of his rifles and he decided that, you know what, I am so capable, get it, capable, ding. I'm so capable with this platform that I really don't need an edge in that particular way, or maybe for his own specific situation, it just didn't fit his needs. And you know what, that is fair to me because that is an educated opinion, right? In sharp comparison to the other people that just regurgitate those opinions that have come from other people, that's when I become a little aggravated. But it's all in good fun. If you deep down don't like the bad lever, it's fine. It's not like I'm gonna make memes. I probably will make memes, but I won't tag you in them, so that's fine. These little procedures and little things and SOPs that instructors have come up with throughout the years and decades trickle down from the NRA and whatever the they're longer than Joe Biden trying to solve a Sudoku. So, you know, really like realizing what is going on with your weapon rather than trusting muscle memory into old, antiquated malfunction clearing procedures. Like, for example, like the old school way of clearing a double feed on a pistol. Like,
I can't just let this be. I gotta show you.
okay, so I'm gonna have to use a real gun for this because simunition ammo has plastic tips and it actually doesn't quite work very well. Bro, these are expensive. No, these things are expensive, bro. The more I dig, the worse it gets. No. God damn it. Bro, that's like $5 a round. F my life. Son of a dingleberry, dude. So, here's a double feed, right? Pretty nasty double feed. Now, according to these organizations and instructors, they came up with this series of steps to clear a double feed like so.
Now, when I come out here and I feel nothing happening, I have a dead trigger, I'm going to hit the magazine, tap it again, and I'm going to jerk the slide to rear. You notice a very loud clunk. It doesn't sound like I've chambered around. Well, at this point in time, it makes no difference. It's dark. I'm going to bring the weapon back, lock the slide to the rear. I'm going to then remove this magazine out. Now, I want to keep it because it may be the only one I have. So I'm going to place it either under my armpit or in my waist belt. I'm then going to vigorously give 3 good whacks on the slide. I'm going to now insert my magazine back. Well, at this point in time, it makes no difference. It's dark. From the time it goes click till the time you fire a round, you should be able to do this in about 6 seconds.
So, the first thing you have to do, according to them, is tap rack. Now that did absolutely nothing because obviously you have a double feed. That's what the muscle memory people want you to do. Then the next step is to strip out the mag, right? Slide goes forward. Now you're supposed to retain the mag on your pinky, sorta, somehow, maybe here. Retain the mag on your pinky, sorta. And then go here, 1, 2, 3. They want you to charge the gun 3 times, even though on the first rack, I already saw that bullet fall on the ground, but they want you to do it 3 times. Three racks, right? And then that's when you're supposed to reinsert the magazine, rack the pistol, and fire. Now, my method involves a little bit less of that. So if I want to look at what's going on before I do my tap and rack, if the weapon went click and the slide is forward, then yeah, tap rack would be your first course of action. But if I bring my weapon up and I look, oh, it's a double feed, what I would do is strip the mag a little bit, slide goes forward, reinsert, and see if whatever is in that chamber will fire, which in this case it will because there was a round in there, right? If it doesn't fire, tap rack. But taking the magazine out and doing the Harlem Shake on this pistol slide makes no sense, and it takes way too much time, where you could simply just slightly strip the mag, let the slide go forward, reinsert, and shoot. And if it doesn't shoot, tap rack. We're talking about however long it may take you.
6 seconds.
To what I just did. It took me less than 2-3 seconds. Let's set it up again. There it is. Weapon goes click. I go, oh, double feed. Boom. That's literally it. And if it doesn't go, oh shit, tap rack. Like, I think my first marriage lasted less than the amount of time it takes me to clear a double feed on a pistol by those archaic standards. Man, that's a big word, archaic. Now it's story time. Why did I become a bad lever enjoyer? Picture young Brops. I'm at this PSD course with some spooky gents.
Front! Covering!
No leg!
Stop it!
Covering!
With you!
So I'm fixing to do a target recovery drill against a Australian Greek god sculpted out of Australian spiders. They have spiders there. Chris Winky, you may have heard of him.
This has become a real concern more recently. I did not know this silly little bearded man. I've alerted the authorities and I will remind him, if he's watching this, to follow the strict guidelines and procedures concerning his restraining order. But he is right about one thing, bad levers are legit.
Is it that weird guy again?
Yeah, it's that fucking psycho with the beard.
You wearing your plates?
Hey, no judgment. I'm concerned, alright?
Listen, I'm not mad, I'm just, why would you say that I'm little? Like, you know I can't control my height. Like, why do they even feed you guys down there? Like, that's just not how friends talk to each other. No, it's not important how I got your number. Listen, but like seriously, that was like, the odds of me winning that was just so like, not even close. Like if it was a UFC fight and you saw the tail of the tape between the two, a lot of people would have been like, oh, there's gonna be a murder on TV.
Ugh, this ought to be good.
So, long story short, I am trying to peek a corner. No chance in hell I'm ever gonna win this engagement. And out of nowhere, a wild double feed. Like, we're talking the mother of all double feeds, and simunition, UTM, 5.56 rounds, in my chamber. Just happens, just appears out of nowhere. So I attempt to clear it by Army standards, and it takes me a minute. And by a minute, I mean a lot. And by a lot, I mean, like, I probably took about 4 or 5 UTM rounds in my back. I was panicking. I was pretty spooked. So I get peppered all over with 5.56 sim rounds. And that's when my good buddy Chris pulls me over to the side and he was like, "Oi, Georgie, you've got to get yourself a bot level, mate." And at first, I had no idea what the he just said. But then the same day, he took me to a Cabela's and was like, "This is it right here. This is the shit you need." Sure shit, I purchased myself one. And then later on, throughout that week, he actually taught me how to use it, and it changed my life because I understood the purpose of it. So if you ever hear someone talk shit about the bad lever and you just simply ask them why, and they don't have a solid reason, like, I don't know, just a bad lever wearing a hoodie just came into my house and murdered my whole family and dog, then they're just regurgitating bullshit to you, because that means that that opinion that they have on that little piece of equipment didn't come from experience. It's being regurgitated to you through a bunch of other dickheads that have spread those rumors, that have never actually experienced the benefits of using it in the context of which the thing was made for. So here's a little bit of a life advice for you. You should form strong opinions about things based on experience, or at least good amounts of critical thinking. But in closing, listen, I get it. There's a lot of gimmicky stuff in the industry. I get it. But the bad lever has been around since the Magpul days. I'm pretty sure Travis Haley's the one that designed it, if I'm not mistaken. They started Magpul. So they created this little piece of equipment because it served a purpose for their operational environment, something that it was a problem that they figured out that they needed to solve. It's not a gimmicky piece of equipment that has come out in the last 2 years because companies don't know what to do with themselves innovation-wise. So that's my spiel on the bad lever. The pros outweigh the cons, as Alex would say, orders of magnitude. So if you ever hear someone say some dumb shit about the bad lever, educate them, you know? But first of all, you have to get one and train with it. Put it on your rifle. Maybe put it on another rifle. Don't put it on your main rifle. Put it on another one. I kind of did the whole Trump thing. You put it on another one. Don't put it on your main one. Train on the other one. You know, it's the best. Put it on a training rifle so that way you can get reps. Get used to it. My name is, and I approve this message. So that annoys me. That one literally gave me hemorrhoids. Just thinking about it. But
I'm a big pig. Yep, you could be a big pig too. Oi!